Sweetie. Hey. Sweetie. You're the most important part of this video, you know that, but you have to stay here while I do the big talk about the Amazon Echo Show 8. I think it's the 4th generation. You're the 1st generation, aren't you? Jump. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. All right, sweetie. All right, sweetie. You ready then? You ready for the big talk? All right. Diary. It is the 1st of December 2025, and you're not going to believe it, but I actually have in my hands an Echo Show 8 latest generation. I think it's the 4th generation because off camera, but to the left of me, you'll see, well, you won't see, I have an Echo Show 8 2021, and I've looked on my ordering from Amazon, and that's the 2nd generation. So there's one generation after that. My version has a 13 megapixel front-facing camera. The just outgoing generation had a 13 megapixel outgoing camera, and this guy has a 13 megapixel camera. Now, I reckon that I'm probably one of the only people in the United Kingdom who's an existing Amazon customer with Echo Show devices who is mad, bonkers, crazy, or you might say stupid enough to have ordered this device. And I'm going to try and say why that is and follow it up with why have I actually got one. Because unlike these big YouTubers that get stuff for free, I get nothing for free. Maybe in another life, but this was paid for. And the regular price of the Echo Show 8 2025 latest generation is £179.99p. I just said that again. £179.99p. Now, why would I want such a device? The reason is quite simple, actually, because this device is only a few months old from announce and didn't ship till I think the end of November. So it's literally just come out. And the only people who would have reviewed it would be the people who had them in the US, because I think that was slightly earlier, and the YouTubers who get their stuff for free. Now, when Amazon announced this at the Amazon announcement day, the big plus point about this was AI, artificial intelligence. And the idea was, in simple terms, that the A-lady is currently not very intelligent. And just like with Apple Intelligence, that's in quotes obviously, when Siri is unable to do anything, the programmer's flow is ask Siri, it doesn't know or she doesn't know, ask ChatGPT. And the idea is that Amazon will do the same with its Echo devices. And the idea is that you ask the A-lady a question, and if it's not to do with your smart home, for example, if it's if it's turning on a light, or in our case opening the garage door or doing something clever, then that of course would go to the A-lady. However, if it was something like describe the benefits of the British Library indexing system in the 19th and 20th century, something its Siri will have no chance with, it would pass that on to ChatGPT. So to me, that's a pretty simple if statement in the programming code, which is if I, A-lady, can understand the question, then answer, else pass it to ChatGPT and relay back the message from ChatGPT. So you might have thought that was a pretty simple change to the software. But at the announcement, they pushed this new AI capability, and they didn't clearly say whether it would relate to only the newest announced Echo devices or whether it would be backported to previous generations. So when it came to this Black Friday week, I had a decision to make, and the decision was, do I go and try and buy this bonkersly, stupidly expensive device, which probably will be cheaper on the Black Friday week, or sit it out and wait? And I've gone for the buying option. Now, the further complication to all of this nonsense is the fact that the extra AI option is not yet available. So they had a big song and dance about this AI feature, and at the very least, during its biggest sale time of the year, i.e. Black Friday week, you might have thought that they would enable this feature. But no, it's not enabled. Now, I think they first of all said it's going to roll out into the United States of America, but friends there say it's not enabled on their newly bought devices either. So as far as I know, it's worldwide not enabled. When it is going to be enabled, it's going to be enabled firstly with US English, and then there'll be a rollout to the rest of the world. I know it's boring, baby, but you've got to stick with it. So I've bought this device in good faith. In good faith that firstly, it will be rolling out to the UK shortly, where I'm making this video from. And secondly, that it won't be available on the older devices that, such as the one, the Echo Show over there, which I've had since 2021, according to the order record. Otherwise I'd be completely and utterly wasting my money. On the Black Friday week, the reason why I went for it was also the fact that they've got this return trade-in program. So in this week, I presume this week only, otherwise I've really been sold down the river, there's a trade-in program. So you can take an existing Echo device, you get a small amount of money for it. So I had an Echo Dot Generation 2, which is like the pancake one. It's like a little cylinder. It's not the ball. And they're going to give me £5 for that. What an insult, because it's working absolutely fine. But they're also going to give me 20% off this price. So I think there's an 11% discount on the actual unit itself during Black Friday week. There's a further 20% trade-in, and I get an extra £5 for posting back my older device. I've got to wrap it up, go to the post office, they've got to appraise it to make sure there's nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with it. And then I get £5. So all in all, this device will then cost me about £125, which is still flipping expensive. It doesn't have the ability to run apps. Under the covers, it's running Android, and Android is obviously Linux effectively, but it doesn't have the ability to run apps. It's not like you can install the Google Play Store on here and then install anything that you want. You can't. It's locked down. And so if you remember the history of this, Amazon forked the Android operating system many years ago, and there's been a parallel development of Android, and Android's forked operating system from Amazon has obviously lagged behind, and there's no way to hack into this and install the Play Store, unlike, for example, the Fire TV tablet, the 10-inch version, whereby I had previously had a Fire TV 10 tablet, and I hacked it and installed the Google Play Store, and once you've got the Google Play Store installed, you can install any Android app, etc. But you can't do that with this device. There's apparently a web browser, and you can look at web apps for the web browser, but who on earth is going to want to do that? This is a touchscreen device. You'd have to go onto the touchscreen, type it in. So where are we? I still claim to be probably one of the very, very, very few people in the UK who with their own money and being an existing Amazon Echo Show customer, have ponied up any money to buy a new one of these devices, because it's excruciatingly expensive. With all of their discounts, it's not too bad a deal, but it's just really a display that you can get the weather from. You can ask the A-lady some basic questions. In our case, we can interrogate the smart home we can put pictures from the cameras onto the display. But I think that it's a very expensive option. So with that said, consider all that I've said, and if you are still convinced that you would like to go in this direction, then you've only got a very short amount of time before the Black Friday jamboree finishes. Thanks for watching. Wait, I forgot a very important thing. I forgot to do the unboxing. It's not going to be very interesting because it's going to look like the old one. But let's do the unboxing anyway. I may need my glasses for this operation. I do apologise for the possibly more interesting point than me rambling on. So we've got Mr. rather sharp knife. By the way, it says 8.7 inch display. I think that might be slightly larger than the old one. Stereo speakers, yeah. 13 megapixel camera as before. Smart house hub built in. Well, yeah, that relates to the fact it might have, let's check, it's got Zigbee. I mean, the smart home dynamic is still up in the air. And so technical features, we've got an improved processor, but we've got smart home features are Zigbee, Matter and Threadboard router. So Zigbee is a communications protocol and Matter is a standard. So if you buy a smart home device and it's got Matter compatibility, then you've got a chance of getting it working with this device. Right, that being explained, let's see how we're going on. Ooh. Oh, nice. I mean, it's quite nice, don't get me wrong. Pretty heavy. They do one with a stand, by the way, as a special offer. But unfortunately, the stand, if you buy it with the stand, which was on special deal, you don't get the 20% discount. What I really wanted was the stand, but I wasn't prepared to pay £30 for a metal stand and not get the 20% discount. So I'm afraid, no stand. So there's the unit. Yeah. You can see the reflections of this Apple universe I'm sitting inside, and remove that. Look for the power adapter. Let's just check the wattage, because that's a good sign as to whether it's got increased oomph, is whether they've given a more powerful power adapter. It's a 30-watt power adapter. So we're in the UK here. It's a moulded UK plug. It's a nice fibre kind of cord, just like a kind of Apple-esque cord, and there's a single socket on the back, which is the power socket. So there is no sort of line out socket to drive an external speaker, or there's no input, say, for a microphone. It's just as is. Yeah. So I would say the old unit had a complete angled back, and in fact I would say, just gut feeling would be, that would be a better chamber to have the speaker. So although this looks better, I really do wonder whether the old unit will sound better, so that will be another test. Yeah. And I don't know anything for sure, but in the olden days, the Echo 8s had better microphones than the Echo Show 5s, and I actually got rid of my Echo Show 5s because the mics weren't good enough. And the symptom is that if you've got Echo Dots in the house and Echo Shows, and you ask a question and you're literally sitting in front of your Echo Show, the Echo Dot that's next door replies, because it can hear you more quickly and get back to the answer to your question, or not. So there's the unboxing. You just get a power cord, a rather beautiful looking device, but it has yet to be seen whether the sound is going to be any better than the, in fact, second generation Echo Show 8. Thanks for watching. That really is it.